Well, evening, guys. It's 7:18 at night, West Coast time. It's still the 9th of October 2023. It's still Monday. Yeah, the Weaver John C. Roseman, California. Yesterday was the shock and awe, or actually, the day before that was also the shock and awe concerning about the bombardments, you know, caused by the kidnappings and the border breakouts. And the more I keep hearing from other people and some of their opinions concerning about it, they were actually sharing some of my own. I'm not crowing about it. Have I changed my mind concerning about not liking Hamas? Well, that's definitely damn sure. CNN, Fareed Shakari, was trying to talk to a Palestinian who was part of the Palestinian Authority out in West Bank. It's still up. I should post that link because it's important to understand that regarding these conflicts, it's not just one side, and everyone keeps looking at just one side. It's also both sides. It's also another side. When you're looking at an object, and I tried to talk about this one in many videos that I've done on my channel, is that for one particular story, there are a lot of point of views and a lot of angles at the damn thing. And concerning what happened a long time ago, back in the late 40s, it was the United Nations who created a nation out of Palestine for the Israeli survivors to thrive in. But at this point, did we ever suspect military occupation, entrapping the Palestinians, giving them no rights, no hope, no nothing? Nothing. I'm not apologetic for the videos I made because I'm trying to see this in a different light. That's what happens when you go to colleges. Sometimes you do get exposed to different materials that you never read and never understood. This is supposed to be Columbus Day. A long time ago, we celebrated as Columbus Day because we celebrated and hailed Columbus as a hero explorer. He discovered America. Well, actually, he discovered the West Indies. But still, it was in the neighborhood, so we might as well consider it Columbus Day. And a lot of places to this day still celebrate it. And yet, there was always another side to the damn thing. History books and materials out there showed Columbus was not a hero. Oh, he was an explorer, yeah. He also exploited. But he also regretted it decades down the road. Would that constitute him as a hero? No, it constitutes him as a human being. But does that still tell me that he's still considered as a hero? No. He explored the oceans, he exploited people left and right, and he tried to reverse himself. But the damage had already been done, and repetition was already there, and it's for long periods of time, it's not going to be restored back to where he was a hero. Maybe for some people's and different people's viewpoints, he is, but he's not now. The indigenous people of the Indies, Caribbean Isles, and not to mention in our native soil, we're still living in here in the United States, don't consider Western Europeans heroes, more like conquerors, manifest destiny, and everything else like that. We were trying to escape our own oppression. We couldn't change customs. We couldn't change anything else in the old land. So bring the garbage over to the new land. Try to make something new. But we used it out of the old playbooks. I'm wondering when we're going to be getting into a situation where we're going to have an Israel-Gaza situation in the United States. Does it make me patriotic? Nope. Makes me a realist. If there's not going to be that kind of a contention here, then how about we got the left versus the right? And we've got this situation. There had been actions called by a few politicians out there, or a few of the idiots out there in social media, who are expecting or wanting a civil war. Are they looking for 1860 all over again? Do we want to bring it out that everyone else is home? Let's replay Israel and Gaza, shall we? And the West Bank. Have your home ripped out of you. As I said before, I'm not taking back the videos because to me, they are examples of what I'm seeing and what I'm observing right now as it is. And when you force that much pressure on a group of people for so long, there is going to be reaction to it. Going to be a hell of a lot of resistance, and there's going to be a hell of a lot of pissed off people. This action that they've done, killed people, kidnapped people, brought them over the borders, and realize they're going to get their asses kicked. Yeah, desperation at the point. Israel wants to show up that they're a tough nation, so they're going to bomb the shit out of people, including the innocent. Is that cool? Is that wise? I'm not sympathetic to Hamas. I just don't like them and their actions, let alone Hezbollah, who ruined Lebanon, basically. They want death, they want violence, they want action like that, they want blood. Well, guess what? Lebanon's a wasteland. Israel's going to turn Gaza into another wasteland, or if it's not there already, we're going to bomb the shit out of the ashes. If there's anything moving in the ashes, we're going to bomb the shit out of them. If there's not enough blood, we got to bomb it again because there's got to be more blood to satisfy them. Meanwhile, West Bank is still freaking out left and right because how many they got? 500 and some odd checkpoints around the whole area? And Israel wants to annex it all. Because they got the military might, they got the technical expertise, they got, and they're going to force it down people's throats. So I'm sorry, but I am not supporting Israel and their damn fanatical crap, their right-wing bullshit. And people are following it, including the United States. I'm sorry, this time I think we got it wrong. We should have got negotiators in there, but there should have been some action with the Israeli government, but they don't want it. Neither does the Israeli people. Because they got people kidnapped and shot to death, now Israel's going crazy. Hamas was wrong, but was there another action that they could have taken? Was there another action they should have taken? This is a hell of a way for a PR stunt. I've heard it coming from a few progressives, and not to mention on the main media. This is a hell of a PR stunt. If it is a PR stunt, bloodshed is PR. We got to show the suffering. We got to show people being killed and dragged off. That's a good PR. What would have been even worse for Hamas and making it worse for the Palestinians if they actually showed the survivors either being treated well or shot to death, chained up, dragged, or whatever. Of course, we've heard the reports on it in different places that they are celebrating this because they think they're sticking it to Israel. They know Israel can carpet bomb and back into the Stone Age if they're not there already. Gaza Strip is dependent upon Israel for its existence and survival. And unfortunately, some of those people are getting sick and tired of it. about what the actions are. I'm not listening to the U.S. officials at this point over here. They're trying to cozy and bellyache and con. That doesn't matter. I'm falling sway to the other side, if there is another side to this one, and there usually is. I am not. I'm not giving Hamas a pass on this one. I'm condoning it. There should have been another way, but they're not doing it. And right now, the only thing that they matter more on media right now is talking about the war in Israel. There could have been other things happening, but they're not doing it. So it's the local news I got to stick to these days. But even then, they're going to be showing it. They're going to constantly show it and tell everybody else how screwed up we really are. Maybe my mood and maybe my attitude had been changed a long while ago. And after reading about more of the oppression happening these days, what else am I not supposed to think? I have to keep looking at, have we applied those same damn things here? And of course, now I'll probably be swarmed on by other people because they're probably thinking, we got another convert. No, I'm just trying to keep my damn mind open at this point over here without losing it. I think I still am a left-winger. I still am a Democrat. But it's almost coming like to the epiphany point where you see it in the Ten Commandments. Cecil B. DeMille. Moses goes to Bithia, I think. Is it Bithia? Hang on a second. I've got to get that information there. 1 second. Yoshabel was the name I was trying to think about. Yoshabel, according to the stories, was supposed to be Moses' birth mother. Suckled him to a point where Bithia took over the rearing of Moses, according to the movie. And if they are in the stories, fine. Yoshabel was trying to save Moses. In the adult stage, here comes Charlton Heston coming into the place to see if Yoshabel was his mother. And she did. And Bethia was freaked because now she just lost her son, her adopted son. Moses was confused at that point. He wants to find out why things happened. It was happening right in front of him while he was growing up. He took it for granted. They looked at him as slaves, but he didn't understand the concept of it until he got the lesson. And then he was found out, caught, and then brought to Pharaoh and got his ass kicked out of Egypt. Comes back as a prophet, messenger of God, and a deliverer. But he had to go through the revelation of why it was so important that he liberate them. And it was the Levites, it was the Israelis, children of Israel, children of Abraham. As much as I gathered from the Bible, and also from watching the damn movie so many damn times. Doesn't make me a biblical expert. But I was trying to break a point. In that revelation, there was an epiphany. Has Israel had that epiphany yet? Or do they actually need more and more convincing? Are they going to be in a situation where Egypt was, and coming to the nearly collapse of their nation, before they were actually able to recognize Israelis as Israelis, and they need to be set free. They need to have their own place. Of course, they weren't welcome to stay. They didn't want to stay. They were not going to stay. I mean, hell, hundreds of years of being slaves? Forget it. Screw it. Not going to deal with it. But in this situation, the Palestinians might as well be slaves to Israel. We're playing Egypt here. Palestinians had the land taken by the United Nations because the United Nations felt sorry for the Jewish people. They needed their own homeland. So they took out Palestine. And if it was acceptable, why didn't they have the two-state back then? I don't understand it then, but now they can't. I guess those who have grown up under Israel as it is these days, they got the same mentality as Egypt versus the Israelites of then. And how it's affecting people these days. I mean, the conflict, the complex history of the Middle East is insane. So how are we supposed to deal with it? Understanding, one step at a time, but hopefully without any more bloodshed in the process. Meanwhile, Hamas has got to get off his dead ass, start making its demands, start sending out a negotiator. If Israel's not going to negotiate at this point over here, then I guess there's no point. Gaza's dead. Will Israel be merciful to the survivors? Because now you got the survivors ready to kill Israel on the second's notice. The next generation coming up, it's going to be even worse. Next 20 or 30 years, it's going to be worse. It's cyclic. Unless there's going to be some kind of leeway going on, unless Gaza's blown to kingdom come, Israel's going to have to panic and do everything else it can. But if it wants the peace, if it wants a two-party, if it wants stability, it's going to have to work with the damn Palestinians and making their lives a lot easier. And Israelis got to get off their damn arrogant asses to do so. They keep forgetting their land they have, and some of them have been living on, had been torn apart from the Palestinians to give it to the Israelis. The least they can do is share the damn land without trying to kill each other in the process. Is that going to happen in our lifetimes? Good, I don't know.